Hey, it's Jared with another Sony RX100 IV video, and I wanted to talk to you today about using the flash on this camera. Now, most of us know from using point-and-shoot cameras that have been around for many, many years now, a built-in flash using it as designed isn't always the best. Now, Sony came along and made a pop-up flash that really does pop up and gets over the top of your lens, which definitely helps. It helps reduce red eye, and it also helps reduce the flash just really kind of blowing out the face of the subject that you're taking a picture of, or overpowering, being overpowering in a sense too. So, but there's some design here that I don't know if was intentional or not, but being a photographer that has used, off-camera or external camera flashes such as speed lights and even the Sony's model speed light equivalent, I've learned that moving the head around is a benefit. I mean, you can point the flash in different directions, you could bounce light, there's all sorts of things that you can do with the flash besides just pointing it directly at your subject and letting it do whatever it is that it's gonna do. I've never been a fan of that. Even with the nice flash units that I have that I can mount on some of my bigger cameras, I almost never point that flash directly at somebody and fire it without, a diffuser or without changing the angle or bouncing the light somehow. Direct light on somebody's face just is never really that nice. And I'll show you some examples here as well. So if I'm taking pictures of somebody and I'm just letting the flash blow right at their face, it's not gonna be very dynamic light. It's very flat light. You're taking a picture of a person from the same angle that the light is being blown at their face, and so that light is hitting them directly in the middle of the face and just falling off naturally the same way that we'd be seeing it if we were looking at a person. And we know, that things are lit better from an angle. I mean, when you look at paintings that are lit, they're lit from an angle. When you look at lighting that's coming through a window onto somebody, it's hitting them usually like on the side, or you're looking at it from a different angle, and the lighting is just much more appealing when there's some sort of dimension to it. And because of the way that this was designed, you can actually use this flash differently. You can bounce light off the ceiling by pointing the flash up. Now, unfortunately, this flash doesn't like snap into place, or it's not very easy to angle it. You kind of have to manually do it by hand and hold it there with your finger, but you can do that. There are angles here, like at kind of a 45-degree angle from your subject, where the light, rather than blowing completely at their face, will just kind of blow over them, and it will light them a little bit softer. So that way you're not having to worry about trying to maybe change some settings inside of the flash or inside of the camera to decrease the power of the flash, or just not even use it at all. You can actually kind of decrease the amount of light by pointing it up. Now, there are certain angles that you can do this and you will light part of them and part of them won't be lit. And so you kind of have to play with this and kind of get used to how it works. However, if you are in a room where there's a white ceiling or a white wall, you can bounce the light off the ceiling as opposed to shooting it directly at the subject. So the light bounces off the ceiling, comes down, and lights them from a higher angle and a different angle than what would be directly from your camera. You can also, if you're taking a picture in portrait mode, bounce that light off of a wall so that you can angle a person a little bit towards the wall. Take the picture of them and the light will bounce off the wall and onto their face instead because you have the flash pointing in that direction. So there's different things that you can do with this flash. You're not stuck. And I know in the past with most flash, built-in flash units that are built into the frame and there's nothing you can do, you can't do anything. At least with this flash, we're able to kind of, rotate it back, change the angle and direction of light a little bit, and improve our photos a bit with this camera, instead of just not using the flash at all, which is, what I used to do with point-and-shoot cameras. I just never use the flash, and if it was a low light situation, then I would try and compensate other ways or just not take the picture at all, and that's a bummer way to live when you've got a fantastic little camera like this. So I hope that that helped you kind of understand some of the different things you could do with the flash. Of course, you can slightly change the power of the flash a little bit in the camera so that you're not sending as much light out. If you are shooting in automatic mode, though, you're not really going to get too much adjustment out of that flash. And really, even in manual mode, there isn't a whole lot of adjustment for the flash as well. You know, it's not a fully manual flash like you would expect from an external speed light type of flash, where you can change the power of the flash and really the zoom of it and all that stuff. This doesn't have that. It just has a little bit of power adjustment, and that's it. So from there, it's getting creative with how this pops up and the direction of the light. Sure, you could probably fashion some sort of a diffuser that would kind of rest over this. However, I found the best way to get quality light out of this camera is to bounce the light off of something, whether that be the ceiling above you or the wall next to you. It's definitely better than sending the light directly at the person. So if you have any thoughts or tips on using flash with this fantastic little camera, let me know in the comment section below. As well, if you have any questions, I'd love to answer those. Do my best to anyways. And then if you've yet to purchase one of these cameras, the link to it is in the description below, so you can check it out over on Amazon, which is where I picked up this bad boy. So thanks a lot for checking out this video. Subscribe to our channel if you want to see more videos like this and be notified of them, and share it with a friend if you know somebody with one of these little cameras. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time on Ditch Auto.